What is going on, guys? Thank you so much for coming back to the Friday Night Subcast. Man, we've been really good at keeping on schedule. Every Friday, it's the banner says every Friday live show or something like that. I can't remember what my own banner says. But we've been really good at making sure we hit every single Friday. And we have got an exciting show for you tonight. Are you out there wanting to get to a hub? And you just don't want to jump 100,000 times just to get to a hub. It's fun, though. I did when I went to the Galactic Hub, and it was one of my most memorable moments in No Man's Sky when I got to the Galactic Hub and found the needle in a haystack, literally found Lennon on my first go. But are you wanting to get there quicker? I mean, we all want to get there quicker, right? Well, there's a guest I have on tonight. His name is Husker, and he is he's got the Black Hole Sun projects, and he's got it to where people could get to hubs in 6 to 9 jumps, because he has found a way to map out the black holes. Because a long time ago they used to be random, and we used to play black hole roulette. You know, you would jump through, end up at a location, and then you would. It's not where you want to go, so you reload your save, jump through that black hole again. Maybe you're a little bit closer, maybe you're further away. It's not like that anymore. Now, black holes they're static locations, they're actual locations, and Husker and his crew have went out and have started documenting where these black holes go. And they have a website, like a calculator. You put in your location, and it'll show you the quickest route to where you want to go. So, it's exciting. And we got those guys on the show tonight. Big shout out to you guys in the chat there. Thank you so much. We got Zane's World in the chat, Dark Lord. We got Asterisk. That's cool. Action Pants Gaming, Mary Lizzie, Goopro, KJPC, JC. Oh my God, I did it again. JC Hysteria, Dave Langer. What is going on? Azzaloni in the chat. Okay, so we're going to play our Morpheus intro, then we'll get right back to the show here as we get a couple more things ready. I will see you guys on the other side. 100% ready. No wrong button.
Explorers, hear me! Hello Games have been silent. No ARG, no breadcrumbs to follow, but trust me, there is an update coming. Could it be space? Building more ships? Could the Sentinels have gathered an army as I speak? Could that army of Sentinels be drawing nearer to our home? No one knows. Get into the simulation and upgrade your multi-tools. Upgrade your ships. Believe me when I say we have a difficult time ahead of us. The silence, the waiting. But if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here now before you, truthfully unafraid of the silence from Hello Games. Why? Because I believe something you do not? No. I stand here without fear because I remember that I'm here not because of Pathfinder, Foundations, Atlas Rises, or Next, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for nearly 3 years we have explored. I remember that for many times we have waited through silence. And throughout all those years and all those times of silence, especially this one, I remember that which matters most. We are still here. Tonight, let us send a message to Hello Games. Tonight, let us echo, scream, and gather on YouTube. Tonight, let us be heard from Son of Crime to Valari 5. Tonight, let us make them remember we are Cobras, we are explorers, and we are still here!
Oh, God. Thank you so much for coming back to Cobra TV. That was my rendition of the Morpheus speech from The Matrix when he was telling the city of Zion to not be afraid of the machines as they were attacking. Thank you so much for coming out to the show. We've got a really, really good show tonight. No Man's Sky, No Man's Sky, No Man's Sky, No Man's Sky packed episode. I also have an announcement. We have Sword, who is now the 100% official co-host of the Friday Night Subcast. You all know him. You all love him. Sword. And I cannot wait to get him on the show. He's in the room right now with Husker, and we're going to get into all of that and more. So please give a big welcome to Sword as being the official co-host of the Friday Night Subcast. Thank you so much, everybody. He is such a great guy. If you don't know who he is, you should. And go check him out. He's amazing. On the screen right here, we've got a bunch of black hole shots. Some of them, this one I think was Ivy Mike. Some of these guys have put their watermark on it so we know who they are. I know Steven Hansen has a picture on here. Thank you so much, Steven Hansen, for providing just the most amazing pictures I've ever seen from No Man's Sky. If you don't know who he is, check him out. I think he's on Twitter. He's on my Twitter. He's always posting stuff. You can find. I retweeted a bunch of his stuff today, but go check him out. So, black hole pictures. Thank you so much for submitting them, and they're here for a reason, because today we're going to be talking about black holes, and we're going to be talking about how we can utilize them to get to our destinations so much faster. So let's go ahead, and I want to take a look at a article before we get our guest here on the show. Let me turn this music down just a little bit more. I think it's just a little bit too loud. Okay, so Seakite, thank you so much for the donation. Keep up the good work, my man. Thank you, Seakite. Big old 07 to Seakite in the chat. Thank you, buddy. So let's go to the article that I want to talk about. This is going to lead up into our guest for tonight. This is from Games Radar. It says how No Man's Sky players are creating their own fast travel system by mapping every black hole in the galaxy. Okay, so I don't know. I just had a weird message. If you're waiting for the live stream to start, just refresh. Oh, well, you can't hear me if you're waiting for it. I'm sorry. YouTube is weird. Okay, so entering a black hole in No Man's Sky is the sci-fi equivalent of free-for-all cave diving, a leap of faith into a seemingly careless void, punctuated by the added thrill of not knowing what awaits you on the other side. Inspired by the known unknowns of black holes in our own galaxy, players who venture through Hello Games' digital rendition of the cosmic phenomenon are treated to a dazzling show of sound and light before their ship is spat out on the another random corner of No Man's Sky's infinite universe. Long-term veterans of the game even coined the term black hole roulette to describe the risky gamble of using one of these gravitational anomalies as a means for quick transportation, fully equipped with the knowledge that they could be jettisoned light years away from their intended destination. And that's what we used to do, but we used to reload our save to get closer to that destination, and we kept doing it over and over and over and over and over and over. And it was a good way to get closer to a hub that you were trying to reach. But it's not like that anymore. But at some unknown point in 2018, Hello Games quietly changed the nature of their black holes in a way that would go on to transform how people played the space exploration simulator. In October of last year, a player by the name of Jeff, known as Husker, who we're going to have on the show tonight, in the No Man's Sky community, was partaking in a black hole roulette of his very own, in the hopes of finding one of the game's elusive paradise planets, only to discover that the entry and exit points of the black holes he took appeared to no longer be randomized. Upon repeatedly entering the same black hole by reloading his save, Husker found his ship popping out at the same exit location each and every single time. This revelation gave him an idea. If black holes exits are now fixed and I hit the same exit point every time, that means that I can start writing down the results. If I start writing down the results, I can actually scan my list of results and data. Thank you so much, JC Hysteria, for the donation to the Super Chat. It says, have my YouTube premium freebies. Thank you so much, JC. Big 07 to that guy in the chat. Thank you, buddy. This revelation gave him an idea. If black holes exits are now fixed and I hit the same exit point every time, that means I can start writing down the results. If I start writing down the results, I can actually scan my list of results and data and determine whether or not specific black holes can help me get from one point to another. So he decided to go on to what Games Radar says, a holy crusade. I love the puns around everything that this guy's done. Like, he's a big Soundgarden fan. So am I. Black Hole Suns Project. He's got more to tell us about all that, but just really cool name. He's got the dark web calculator. Really cool. Husker quickly reported his findings to the No Man's Sky community on Reddit. And while early responses were tepid, it wasn't until he created a dedicated subreddit, Black Hole Suns, and in parentheses, I'm a big Chris Cornell fan, that players started to coalesce around the idea of mapping these natural portals of the universe to create a distance and route calculator. Distance and route calculator, DARC, that takes the user's starting position, their intended destination, and outputs a route based on the best black holes to use. According to the subreddit's fact page, the Black Hole Suns project is dedicated to researching and cataloging known black holes in an effort to record and share where they place the traveler in relation to other known areas and places of the interest in No Man's Sky galactic map. Indeed, since its inception in December, Black Hole Suns has already recorded over 4,000 black holes. It's now changed. He just told me when I was talking to him backstage that they've recorded over 7,000, almost 8,000 black holes, now averaging about 100 new data entries every day, thanks to the work of its numerous volunteers. And we'll show you how you guys can help contribute to this project. This has already been a huge help to travelers looking for the best way to get from one end of the galaxy to the next without having to spend hours crawling at light speed, with Black Hole Sun's Dark Calculator now live and operational as an easy-to-use tool for charting the best route for their journey. That said, Black Hole Suns project administrator Eric, ARIC, still recognizes that there's challenges for the community to iron out and a huge amount of work still left to be done. We have a little joke that goes, playing No Man's Sky is great, but you tried playing the spreadsheet? He tells me, explaining that the hardest part has been actually finding time playing the game after work every day, and then getting the foundations of this project locked in place. Every day brings new ideas that we obsess over. As for the end goal of the project, Eric envisions a system that's fully automated, so in 5 years we can check on it and be amazed that it's still being utilized by the community and have millions of mapped locations. It's all about the community. We're doing this to help everyone out and hopefully enjoy the game even more. To that end, Black Hole Suns can already be considered a huge success, and they are. Husker proudly boasts that the project has literally changed the nature of how to cover vast distances in No Man's Sky, and for a game that often uses travel as a prerequisite for accessing some of its best features, that's not to be sniffed at. Already players have expressed their gratitude for drastically speeding up the pace of their adventures in space, with popular trips like the journey from the Pilgrim star to the Galactic Hub reduced from 600 hyperjumps down to 9. Reduced from 600 hyperjumps down to 9 from the Pilgrim star. And is it an exploit? I don't think this is an exploit. I think it was done by Hello Games and changed by Hello Games on purpose. With No Man's Sky Online being implemented, I think they have bigger plans, and I think having the black holes being a way that we could chart faster routes to hubs is supposed to be there, because I really believe that in Beyond, No Man's Sky is going to capitalize on hubs. I think we are getting fully fleshed out hub building. That's just speculation, but everything seems to point there. Everything literally seems to point there. To infinity and beyond. Alas, there remains the lingering possibility that a future update to No Man's Sky from Hello Games could unravel all the good work done by Black Hole Suns so far. The developer has a history of unintentionally dismantling the plans of its own in-game communities, such as we found when they forced the Galactic Hub to move. While further big changes are set to arrive later this year with No Man's Sky Beyond, a triple-pronged update that is just, if not more, ambitious than its 2018 next. Husker? Is it Husker or Husker? Oops. It says Husker right here. I thought it was Husker. Husker remains cautiously optimistic when asked about the prospect, though he admits that Hello Games has not publicly or privately acknowledged the project as of yet. They're watching, guys. Don't worry. We reached out to Sean Murray for a comment on this feature, but didn't receive a response. It's not going to go away with Beyond. This was put here on purpose for No Man's Sky Online. I bet that. I want to see. Okay, so it is Husker. They just called him Huster down here. They called him Huster down here. Yeah, right there, Huster. Whoops. So let's go ahead and get Husker on the call here so he could tell us all about this. Let me take a look at the chat here real quick. Let's see. Thanks, John. That's a Critical Role reference, not a call to arms, by the way. Uh-oh, what's going on? I've been warping like a mad travelers. J-Spot J. Well, that could soon be over. If we as a community help Husker and the Black Hole Suns project, we could get this ball rolling much quicker. I'm going to go down here real quick, and we're going to get into the call with Husker. What's going on, guys? We got Eric and Husker on the show tonight. How you guys doing?
Doing great, man. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Perfect. I didn't mean to call you Huster. Games Radar called you Huster.
Yeah, they called me Huster in the last paragraph. They got it right the first time, but for some reason they just...
I know. I had to go back up.
Must be one of those fancy British keyboards where the T is right next to the K.
Oh, yeah. I had to go back up to make sure I didn't read it wrong the first time, and it was Husker.
It's definitely Husker. Yep. Thank you so much for having us on board, man. This is a thrill. It's very humbling. We're very happy to be here.
Oh, man, it's a pleasure is all mine, dude. The pleasure is all. You guys have been working so hard at doing something that's so complicated, and I think that we could boost this. We could boost this with the community and to get more. How many have you routed so far?
So as of tonight, I just updated the number. We're at 7,050.
Wow.
Black holes logged. Yeah.
Nice.
It is unbelievable. We're averaging about a little bit over 120 new entries per day. It took us 23 days to go from 5,000 to 7,000.
Wow.
Yeah. It's definitely growing, and I fully predict within the next few weeks it's going to get even crazier because we have some major announcements coming out that I can tease here first. You heard it here first, that in the next few weeks you're going to hear even bigger news coming out of Black Hole Suns.
Ooh. Awesome. So we get a tease, huh? That's nice. That's very nice. We also have Eric on the call. Am I saying your name right?
Yeah, you are. Yep.
Okay, good. It's good to have you on the call, buddy.
It's good to be here.
Okay, so where do we start? People are probably pretty interested in knowing how to get to... Oh, we have Sword on the call as well. Sword.
I was going to say, we also have DD Birtles on the call as well from Black Hole Suns.
Oh, yeah, very nice.
DD Birtles is one of our what I call advanced researchers. We actually gave them the rank of Black Hole Suns captain because... well, I'll explain it in a couple of minutes, but we have so many awesome people working on this project. It would take me an hour just to properly thank them for what they've done so far.
Yeah, our team that we've garnered all together is just absolutely amazing. Everybody's just awesome.
Very awesome. Very awesome. And yeah, man, Husker, you're the first person to discover this. I mean, explain that real quick. You know, you're doing the Black Roulette like all of us used to, right? And explain,
Yeah.
like, what was going through your mind when you realized it was happening.
Yeah, so I don't want to get too fancy pants here, but I don't know if I'm the first, but I was definitely one of the ones who went on Reddit afterwards and was like, "Hey, you guys!" But what happened was, as they say, necessity is the mother of invention, right?
Right.
So, just like every other No Man's Sky player out there, I wanted to set up a base on a paradise planet. I was sick of the acid rain. I was sick of the sentinels kicking my ass every 2 seconds. I was, sick of being chased around by space tigers. I just wanted a really nice planet to settle, a base on. So I was like, well, let me just look around for a paradise planet. So I forget the website, but there's this repository of locations in No Man's Sky. So I just ran a search on paradise planets. I found one. I portaled to it. It checked out. And so then by that point, I had discovered another navigation tool called the Pilgrim Star Path, which I'm sure you've discussed on previous shows. The
Right.
Pilgrim Star Path basically helps you calculate how far away you are from a certain location. And at that point, in the heyday of the PSP, or the Pilgrim Star Path, you could take advantage of this game mechanic in No Man's Sky called Black Hole Roulette, as you know.
Right.
So my plan was to just use Black Hole Roulette and try and get to my newly picked out paradise planet as quickly as possible. So I settle in for a nice afternoon of Black Hole Roulette so that I could just randomly pop out as close as possible to the planet that I was aiming for, which was with if I was going to use straight warping, it was well over 500 warps away, which is, I'm not going to do that. I'm just not going to do that, right? So I take my first black hole and I pop out and I write down where I land. I'm like, well, this is not close enough.
Mm-hmm.
So I reload the game again, because as you know, the way that Black Hole Roulette worked, you could just reload your save, take the same black hole
And be
pop
different,
out
yeah.
and be at a different location. So that was the plan. So I tried it again. Second time, I wrote down the coordinates and they matched the first attempt. I'm like, that's weird. I tried a third time. Same coordinates on the other side. I'm like, I think my game is broken. So then I tried a fourth time, same coordinates. I don't know if you allow cursing, but then I just started to curse like crazy, right?
Yeah, just
And after a couple of F-bombs, I tried it. Seriously, I couldn't believe what was happening. Like, of all the players in the world, Black Hole Roulette is broken for me, right? So after a little bit more experimentation, it dawned on me. This is not a glitch. It's not a bug. This is on purpose,
yes.
right? So then I try a different black hole, and I pop out again at a location. I tried another time, a second time rather, and so it was consistent. So at that point, that's when I took a step back and was like, what's going on here? I'm never going to make it to my paradise planet if every black hole hits the same spot every single time. This is going to take me forever.
Right.
My dream is dead. So then I thought, well, wait a second. If the black hole exit points are fixed, why don't I just make a chart of where it takes me, and then I can make a decision as to whether or not this black hole can actually help me. That way I can at least have a record. If I come across a black hole and I get closer, it's good. If it takes me further away, it's bad. Process of elimination.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I went on Reddit, and like I said, I just posted hey, you guys, black hole exit points are fixed now, so shouldn't we write them down? Shouldn't we record them?
Yeah.
And I would say the response was, I'd say 70%, 20%, that's a really good idea, and 10%, that's a waste of time. Hello Games could flip a bit and the whole thing would be dead.
No.
So with the 70%, 90% positive response, I was like, you know what? Let's do this. So I hooked up with Eric and he set up a subreddit, and from there he also set up a Google Sheets template that we could use as, basically the core way to record black hole data. And people started slowly but surely populating the data in the spreadsheet. And that's really how it started. And things were going really good in terms of just that slow, steady response. And then about, I'd say, 2 or 3 weeks into it, I could actually go back in the subreddit and check. Another user created another tab on the spreadsheet where you could plug in your coordinates for where you are, and then the spreadsheet formula he put in there would tell you which black hole was closest to your intended target. So
that was the key.
Yeah. So when he did that, it was basically just telling you, hey, if you do need to go somewhere, the closest black hole to your target would be this one. And the result you got was already in the spreadsheet somewhere. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with how black hole or just navigation in No Man's Sky works, but you probably are. But the galaxy itself is broken down into 3 axes, the X, Y, and Z axis.
Right.
And so a while ago, even before the Pilgrim star path was being created, or actually at the same time, these other players, like I call the OG players, like the guys who've been playing No Man's Sky since day one, and were really sitting down and doing the math on how this game worked, they actually worked out the math on how to calculate the distance between 2 points in No Man's Sky given the galactic coordinates. I mean, that was a major breakthrough, and it's the only reason why we can do what we're doing. So in a very big way, we did not invent this. We're actually just taking the original physics that was discovered by the player community, and we are programmatically making it available to users so that they can take advantage of it. But as the math happens, you basically take the X coordinates of your starting point and your ending point, you subtract them, you subtract the Y coordinates from each other, you subtract the Z coordinates from each other, and then you multiply them by something and then square that, and then that's your distance.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly.
It's math magic.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's definitely magic. That's how I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna call it math. That's just magic.
Magic,
Can
yeah.
you imagine how difficult? Like these people are geniuses, and you know what?
Yeah.
They put it in
Absolutely.
the game. They put it. The people that figured this out, geniuses. Hello Games, geniuses. They put this in the game and waited for us to find it. They waited for
Yeah.
somebody to discover it, and
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah, I should send you the link for like the original Reddit discussion where they were working out the math of the galaxy on the fly. It's an amazing read. And it's definitely worth checking out if, people are into, shall we say, the beginnings of how the player community was putting all this together. But you're absolutely right. Hello Games, they had all of this worked out from the very beginning. And they just waited patiently
Yeah.
for people to noodle it through. So to make a long story longer, I took the formula, I took the distance formula that was put up in the spreadsheet, and I was like, okay, we have the math on the closest black hole to your target. Now we have to go to the next level and work backwards from what we call black hole zero, which is the closest black hole to your target. Let's say it's your paradise planet, all the way back to your starting location.
Can I just jump in
Yeah,
for a second?
absolutely.
Now, at this point in the project, even though I think we're pretty much 50-50 on the original spreadsheet that lasted for months, at this point, this is when Husker started doing the distance and route calculator. And at this point, I said, okay, go do it. And it's just like, that's way over my head. The magic that this guy did with that original series of calculations. It was literally tabs and tabs of calculations. It's just amazing. And I just kind of started throwing ideas out there and making them do stuff.
I guess you see some crazy, really cool guy in a house and just with a Sharpie writing all over his walls mathematical equations. It's like, I've got it! Runs to Reddit.
It was.
My poor wife.
See,
Oh, God.
Now Cobra says that, and the first thing that pops to my mind is Doc Brown off of Back to the Future.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I'm a little younger than Doc Brown, but not by much.
No, he's more like Jim Carrey in the movie Number 33.
Oh,
there you go.
23.
Yeah.
Sorry, 23. I was just corrected.
Yeah. So basically, what I had to do was, as Eric mentioned, tab number 1 on the spreadsheet was every single black hole that the user community or the player community had submitted. So then I took all those black holes and I put them on another tab of the spreadsheet, and we calculated the closest black hole to your target planet. So at that point, I'm like, okay, of all the black holes in the database with a spreadsheet, this one's closest to your target. Now, which black holes are closest to that one, right? Which is the closest black hole to the closest black hole. And I had to run the numbers on that. And then I had to run the numbers on the closest black hole to the closest black hole to the closest black hole, and basically worked my way backwards 11 times in the spreadsheet. And that took probably, what, Eric? I don't know, like a month?
We worked every day on this for weeks and weeks and weeks, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, there were nights when the formulas weren't working quite right, and I'd be in bed literally 3 a.m. I've got it, and I would get up and go fix it. I don't know why I did that.
That's just like in the movies. Just like in the movies, man. Just laying there like, oh, it's time to go to sleep. I got to be up in 3 hours. Oh, I got it.
Now Husker or not Husker. Now ER Burrows brings up a good point in the chat. Now, when you log into No Man's Sky, do you just see code like on the Matrix, or do you actually see the game?
Blondes, brunettes, black holes.
Yeah.
Right. Well, first of all, you have to log into No Man's Sky to see that stuff. And as Eric will testify, we didn't play the game.
Yeah,
Can
we
you
don't play the
imagine
game.
that? Yeah. We didn't play the game for literally 3 or 4 months.
Wow.
It was on our list of goals.
Yeah. We called
It's
it,
on our list of goals.
yeah. Seriously, we had a to-do list, and the last item on the to-do list was play the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think, if we probably worked on that. Oh, I can't even. There's no way to calculate the number of hours we put into this.
Oh no! I mean, in the beginning, it was pretty much just you and me working on the spreadsheet. You know, with a couple other people here and there that would show interest. But then once we did that, we got it up and running, and we got the distance and distance and route calculator set up.
Right, and
then we did the contest.
Yeah, and that acronym is on purpose. Distance and route calculator, dark black holes. You get it? That's a dad joke. Yeah, that's our dad joke. But Eric is leaving out. Eric is leaving out a major cataclysmic event in the development of the spreadsheet in terms of the calculator.
Uh-oh.
And that's when we found out.
Oh, and I broke it.
No, not that.
Times.
Oh, not that part. Not that time.
A
different time.
Eric, you remember that time? You remember that time we found out that black hole exit points are different.
Oh yeah. Different between PS4 and
really?
the other two. Yeah.
Yes. So here's cataclysmic event number 1.
Yeah, I think I wiped that out of my mind. Actually, that was we were both having heart attacks at that point.
Yeah. So cataclysmic event number 1 is that we discovered that depending on what galaxy you're in, the exit points for the black holes are different. So if you're in Euclid and you go in black hole number 1, and you'll have exit point A. But if you're in Hilbert, if you go in that same black hole, you're going to pop out somewhere different. What's interesting is across all the galaxies, the black holes are in the same starting position.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
Go on.
But the exit points are different for all the galaxies.
I see.
So that fundamentally broke the calculator. So
Well,
it took me
I'm looking right here at your calculator, and I'm seeing where you're going with this because I see a toggle for PS4,
Yeah.
PC, and Xbox. Like, man, you guys keep going, man. I'm interested in hearing how you got to that part.
Yeah, so it took, I'm not really sure how long it takes. It's all kind of a blur, like Eric said, but we got to the point where we figured out how to account for the galaxies being different if the user was in a different galaxy than Euclid. We got through that. And then we pat ourselves on the back just in time for cataclysmic event number 2, which is when we found out that the exit points for black holes was different depending on the frickin' game platform.
Yeah.
Okay, so the black hole locations are the same across PC, Xbox, and PS4. But if you're on PS4, your exit points are different. The good news is that the exit points for PC and Xbox are the same. So if you're an Xbox player out there and you want to use the black hole database, you're in luck because the data that you're leveraging is the exact same for PC. So you're not going to be some redheaded stepchild on the Oregon Trail with no black hole data. You're going to have access to just as much data as PC players. So then I had to go back into the calculator and figure out the formulas based on the gaming platform, which took a while.
I like to think that the PS4 difference is a bug.
I don't think it's a bug.
You don't think it's a bug? I think it's a bug.
I don't think it's a bug.
I hope they change it. I hope they combine them all. And it ruins half of our data.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know why he's wishing for that, because if Hello
I really do.
If Hello Games makes black hole exit data consistent across all 3 gaming platforms, that's going to destroy 60% of our database.
That's okay. You know we'll keep going.
But yeah, that's the thing. We're going to go right back in and put it back
We'll probably go even harder than we have been.
It's true. We'll probably replicate that data in 20% of the time that it took us. So if it took us 6 months to get to 4,000 black holes on PS4, it'll probably take us 3 weeks. Because the community we have, like guys like DD Birtles and
Xenu.
Yeah, and Xenu. We have some guys that are just knocking it out of the park in terms of inputting data. We have probably, I'd say, 5 people who are responsible for probably 60% of the database. It's crazy.
But that does not count out anybody else that wants to help out. Even if you do 1 or 2, that helps everybody out.
Yeah, and we have made it with with the new software that we've put out, thanks to our new team of developers. It's even easier now to put data into the system. So after we fixed the Galaxy problem and the gaming platform problem, then we actually had a contest. We had a contest where, over the course of the weekend, the people who submitted the most black holes would win an oversized No Man's Sky mousepad that I found on Amazon. And I was really hoping for like 200 entries. And I think we got close to 500, something like that.
I was thinking we were going to get 100.
Yeah.
I was lowballing it.
But we wanted 100.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the first to tell you guys, this community rocks. I'm just big shout out to you guys out there in the community, because I'm going to tell you what, yesterday at like 4:30 p.m., 5:30 p.m., I posted up in the Discord for, hey guys, we got a project going on the SUBCAST. Could you please post some black hole pictures, your favorite black hole screenshots? Make it creative. Put your watermark on it. Let people know you're the one that took the picture of it. And guys, look at all these beautiful, beautiful pictures up on the screen right now. That is, man, you guys, right in the feels, guys. Thank you so much for all that you do. And yeah.
So, Husker, how are you vetting the information provided? Is there a way that are you just the community's just awesome enough that no one's producing anything false?
We don't get any errors. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, 3 answers to that. The first is that in the early days, it was 100% honor system. 100%.
Right. Yeah.
Every once in a while, there were typos or fat fingers, and we were able to actually, and typically the researcher, I call them researchers, who submitted the data caught the error, and they were able to let us know, and we would just fix it manually.
And only most of them were mine.
Hey, do you guys know just how cool this is? Everybody out there watching, like, this is like real NASA type level stuff. I mean, you got people like, no, I'm serious. You got people out there. You got this organization, the Black Hole Suns Project, just input NASA organization, space organization. And then you guys are the astronauts. You're going out there, and this is the way that you could be playing the game. You could be playing the game to research the black holes, to provide the data to this space exploration organization, the Black Hole Suns Project. That is just an amazing way to play this game.
Yeah, that's actually my end game.
Holy
for
crap.
Me, is to just, after I build everything and go everywhere and do this and do that, the end game for me is No Man's Sky basically becomes a place where I go to research navigation data and put it in a big ass database, and that's just what I do from time to time.
Yeah.
Unless, there's so much to do in this game. It's going to be a long, long time before, that's the only thing I have to do. But that's definitely something that I plan on doing on a regular basis, just flying around and collecting, black hole navigation data. It's definitely a way that you can contribute to the community. And this, you're right about this. The community, I've been around the block longer than I care to admit. I've been playing video games, for a long time, and I'm sure everyone listening and everyone who's played a game has encountered a measurable toxic community for almost every video game that's ever existed. But I have to say that No Man's Sky is the exception to that rule. This is one of the best, if not the best, video game community I have ever been a part of since the 80s.
Just look at these pictures. These are awesome pictures. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Being able to pull them together real quick like that, and they're gorgeous.
Oh, yeah. These guys are awesome.
We have Ivy and Mike in the chat is asking for an example on how to plot. Do you happen to have like a starting point and a destination to give us an example, like how to get, like, do you have the on hand, like the coordinates for the Pilgrim star as a starting point, and then the Galactic Hub as the destination to show people how quickly? Is there any way that we can do that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So do you want to do that on your screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, so just go to dark, DARC .blackholesuns.com.
Okay, I'm there.
Link.
And guys, I'm going to drop the link to that as well in the chat real quick if you guys want to play along with us. Give me 2 shakes.
If you wanted to just maybe just message me the coordinates.
I got them right here if you want.
Yeah, so the way the distance and route calculator works is you essentially put in your starting coordinates. That is, where are you? Where are you right now? And that could be anywhere. It could be a base. It could be a space station. Just as long as you have the galactic coordinates, you're good to go. And as you see there, the coordinates, you need to put the coordinates in the 16-digit format that you get from a signal booster.
Right.
One day, when we have absolutely nothing to do, we might give you the option. We might give you the option to put portal glyphs in those input boxes. Okay?
Oh wow!
Because a lot of communities post coordinates in portal glyph format. Okay, but that's a lot of math, and we'll see. I'm not promising anything, but for now, the galactic coordinates really work well because we can calculate those X, Y, and Z coordinates really, 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 really quickly.
Okay, so I just put in the coordinates and platform PS4, Euclid Galaxy. And do I just do the jump range at 2,000, or what do I do with there?
Yeah, that's the normal.
Okay.
Medium.
All right. So, and then all of a sudden a star map appeared, or is this are these all black holes that just appeared over here to the right?
In that galaxy, that's all the ones that are mapped in Euclid right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a visual representation of all the black holes that have been inputted by the user community for Euclid.
Oh my
That's
gosh! Look at that, guys.
awesome.
Can you guys see that on the screen?
Do you see the pattern that's emerging on the edges of the galaxy?
Yes, it looks like a black hole.
Well,
oh my god, it does. That's great.
but look at the edges. Basically, the galaxy in No Man's Sky is a square.
Oh, I see. I see that.
Yeah.
It's more of a pizza box than anything. It's not actually a cube. It's a pizza box.
Okay, so we got
corner in that by using black holes.
Yep.
Yeah. So if
Corner
you want
to
to get
corner.
Yeah, so if you want to get to, I think someone did this the other day. If you want to get from one corner of the galaxy to the other, I think you can get there in like 22 jumps.
wow.
It's under an hour, I think it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Under an
It's,
hour across the entire galaxy. We broke the game.
One black hole and about 20 warps. Mad did it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
You can
here
get-
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We've mapped corners as far out as you can get, and I can go from one corner to all 4 cardinal points in less than 2 black holes, and 2 of the 3 other corners so far. The distances you can travel are just amazing, and the more data we have, obviously, the more data we can use. We're using a new algorithm now that someone's developed, and the guy that does the database and the guy that's doing the dark are doing tremendous things with graphing and alternative inputs and things like that. So you can, things that I'm sure Eric and Husker would like to mention is the fact that you'll be able to individually put in like your bases, or other players' bases that you have, and you'll be able to use those as start points to make travel so much faster.
That is
Absolutely
so awesome,
amazing.
guys.
So
My
it says
goodness.
here, the estimate, it says this route will take 52 minutes. The direct route without using this, the Black Hole Suns project would take you 994 minutes to travel from the Pilgrim Star to the Galactic Hub. And you can see if we take a look at the galactic map, which I got over here. So we're talking a distance from up here all the way to down here.
Yeah, so if you count up the number of jumps, we're actually going to change this interface a little bit. We're going to actually give the user a perspective on the journey based on the number of actual hyper jumps. So, for example, I should have mentioned with a little more detail that the Pilgrim Star Path is like the big bang of this project. So,
absolutely.
as I mentioned before, there's a Reddit thread that was basically the live discussion of how math in the No Man's Sky galaxy works. And then from that discussion, the Pilgrim Star Path was born. And then from the Pilgrim Star Path, Black Hole Suns was born. But there is no friggin' way. I'm going to say that one more time. There is no friggin' way that we could have done what we've been able to accomplish without the existence of the Pilgrim Star Path and the work that Pafu, who's the developer, on that
I agree.
did. As a matter of fact, we have been absolutely blessed and honored to actually have Pafu in our engineering Discord group when we were working on this new calculator.
He's helped us out a lot.
Yeah,
he's been great.
The godfather, the granddaddy of the Pilgrim Star Path was actually on our Discord server, giving us guidance in terms of basically acceptable compute parameters, in terms of the speed that he found to be satisfactory in calculating these routes. So it's really been amazing, and we definitely tip our space helmets off to him. But what we're going to do is we're going to change this interface a little bit, in that we're going to let you know how far the trip was in traditional hyper jumps as well. We're still going to give you that time measurement.
Well, you can do that with fuel too.
Yes.
Click on the fuel, and that'll change. It'll calculate it a little bit different.
Yeah, if you click on the fuel option, that'll actually tell you how much fuel consumption the trip would take. And sometimes the fuel consumption trip is longer based on time, because you're trying to save fuel. But in my mind, the number one parameter is time. I don't want to take 5 days to jump 600 times. I just want to get to my paradise planet and set up a base, right?
Yeah.
So we may actually alter this interface in terms of choosing time and fuel again. But if you look at your path right there,
Yeah.
if you go back to time for a second, actually.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go click. All right. Done.
Yeah, click time and click go. You'll see that the number of jumps is what, like under 30, like 23 or something like that.
Where does it
So
say?
if you add up this, if you start with a number 1 and basically just work your way down, you'll see that each spot or each waypoint tells you how many jumps it is from one to the next.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you look at step number 1, right, what that's telling you, what the calculator is telling you, is that the first black hole you need to take, which is that Najagugugugugungum Xv Merkaba, right?
Yeah.
I think I got that right.
You did.
Yeah,
you
spot
did.
on.
100%.
Yeah. So what you do is, what that says is that the first black hole you want to take is right around your immediate area. So if you just spin around the galaxy a little bit, you'll see that first black hole.
I see.
And then once you take it, that second black hole is in the same region as your exit point. So again, if you spin around a little bit, you should be able to find it. So far you're up to 2 jumps, right?
Right.
And then the third black hole is 13 jumps away from the exit point from step number 2.
So you would essentially just look at the galactic map, find it, and just put a waypoint and start jumping.
Right.
Exactly.
So you establish your waypoint by taking a portal to the location in step number 3, making that location a custom waypoint, and then going back to the galaxy map and then using the guidelines in the galaxy map to warp your way there.
I see.
Okay. So if you add all that stuff up, you're basically 20 jumps away from the Pilgrim Star Path to New Lennon. Now, if you put those 2 coordinates in the Pilgrim Star Path web app, you'll see that trip is somewhere like 600 jumps.
Gosh.
Okay.
Wow.
So we went from 603 jumps or something like that down to 20.
Yeah.
Okay. You can do that in the time it takes you to eat a sandwich.
Yeah, of course.
Nice.
This
Like-
is amazing.
And that's really the whole point. The whole point of this was to take the built-in mechanics of No Man's Sky after they changed it and just use it. I don't think this is a cheat at all. I think Hello Games did this on purpose, and like everything else, they just sat back and waited.
Yeah.
I think it's a great example of emergent gameplay, because they didn't say anything about it.
They didn't say a word.
The community just jumped on it slowly, but I mean now everybody's jumping on it.
A long time
And
ago, I made a video.
Great.
I made a video during like the dark times, when everybody was hating on the game. I said,
Right.
guys, it was called No Man's Sky is a puzzle. And I didn't have any evidence of that, but I'm like, it just feels like there's a puzzle to be figured out here. And it took a lot smarter people to figure that out. But I got so much hate on that. They're like, this guy's definitely going crazy. This guy's going nuts. Yeah, just delete your YouTube channel and find a different hobby. You're going crazy. You're going to end up in a loony bin, right? But you guys did it. You guys figured it out. Not just you, but a lot of other people in conjunction, just working together like cursive.
Oh yeah, like I said, there's no way in hell I'm going to sit here and take even 1% credit for this, because I mean, yeah, I sent out the, like I said, the initial, hey you guys, something's going on post on Reddit, and then I did the initial work on the first calculator, which was a pain in the ass, but anyway, it was fun, right?
Oh, that was a great time.
Yeah, it was.
But you're kidding. It was a great time.
Yeah, it was fun. Because
I'm gonna tell you. Go ahead.
That feeling though, that initial feeling when we were running the numbers, and all of a sudden, the Google Sheets spreadsheet is doing all this churning in the background, and all of a sudden that 600 jump trip, the number 9 popped out. Yep. I had a stroke. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, that was a great moment. That was champagne right there.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, I bet you. Yeah, that had to have felt so good. Really.
Yeah. So the whole point of this was, as you know, the mechanics of No Man's Sky, rather, you can't set up a base at a location that you portal to. You can't trigger a freighter battle at a location that you portal to. There are just a couple of use cases where you just have to straight warp.
Yeah.
There's no other alternative.
Yep.
So we found that this is the natural way, as Hello Games intended, for you to cross those crazy distances in a way that it's not cheating at all. They gave us the math, we just figured it out.
Yeah. And to me, it's just clear evidence. And I keep saying it, but we're going to get hubs in this update. I guarantee it. No Man's Sky Online, bringing players together like never before, and we're going to see elements of heavily online games. We're going to see that in here, and I believe we're going to have a lot of hubs. Everything points in that direction, from the galactic atlas.com map showing hubs everywhere to making space navigatable and allowing very, very intelligent, talented people to discover that on our own, and literally changing it from black holes being randomized to all of a sudden now they are chartable. It's all leading to hubs and beyond.
And it's cool if that does happen, if it does lead to hubs. We have the highways.
Exactly. You guys are laying down. My God, that's so freaking. It gives me goosebumps. It really does. It gives me goosebumps. Look, I will argue anywhere on the internet, this is the best community for any video game ever. And it's probably, yes. It's very arguably one of the best games ever made in history.
I agree. I've said it before, man. Sean Murray made this game, and this game is what I've been looking for all my life. And guys, I can't thank you enough for the work you've put into this.
Oh God, yeah.
I mean, listen, guys, I love the grind of the game. I do. And this stuff like this, it's just so in tune for my style of gameplay. Is getting in and having a grind, having something to do. And when we have these updates come in and we play through all the new content, this is the type of stuff that us as the daily players that we get into, the projects that we look for, that we can put our time into the game and share with one another and get together in groups and do together. I mean, This is like the multiplayer dream kind of stuff that you guys have put together here. And I want to thank you a lot for the work that you do in this.
I want to give everybody the submissions link to where people can go and help out. I've got the link pulled up right here. So if you guys want to get involved in this project, and we're going to get back to their conversation. I don't think that they finished. Go to this link right here, and this is where you can submit your black hole findings. Real quick, why don't you explain the submission?
Yeah, so we actually have a easier to type, an easy to remember URL for that database. You can just go to data.blackholesuns.com. It definitely resolves to that Firebase app name, but if that's kind of a chore to write down and memorize, you can just go to data.blackholesuns.com, and that'll take you to the database application.
There we go. There's the database.
Yep. Speaking of which,
should we mention after we go through this? Should we mention Viper's new map?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if you can believe this, Cobra, we're only like 30% into the story, man.
Wow. I can believe that. I can. And with as big and as massive as it is, I can't believe you, you're already 30%.
Yeah, we're only 30% into the adventure in terms of how we went from my Reddit post to where we are now. So I'll try and make that really quick. So it got to the point where the spreadsheet was getting so big, we had to separate the raw, what we call the raw black hole data from the calculator. So day one, the calculator and the raw data were sitting side by side, but that was getting unwieldy. So we had to separate the files. And then it also got to the point where, thanks to the user community, they were giving us feedback on the calculator. Some really good examples were, as new data was being put into the spreadsheet, all of a sudden routes were getting longer, not shorter. You would think it'd be the other way around, right? So after we did some troubleshooting, we were able to discover that new data doesn't always mean a shorter path, because my formulas were based on the closest black hole to X or the closest black hole to Y. We then discovered that your journey length could be altered if you took the second closest black hole to your destination, or the third closest black hole to your destination, or the second farthest black hole away from your starting location, or the third farthest black hole from your starting location. So then I had to build 6 different calculators that calculated 6 different combinations of options, and then send the shortest result back to the main calculator and then present that to the user.
We ended up breaking Google Sheets.
Yeah.
Because what we have, 3 main files at one point.
Yeah.
They were all feeding around each other. And I was taking the user inputs every day from the public sheet, transferring over to the raw database. And every time it would take me an hour, because every data I added from the users, it would feed into the dark, and everything would start calculating, and I'd have to sit there and just wait and wait. And I would only do it like 20 entries at a time, and we would have 100, 200 entries, any given day. So that was time consuming. This new database is amazing.
Wow.
The work put into that new database is just awesome. And if you log into that, you can log in with, say, your Google account, your Gmail account. And then any entries you put in, there's a map on the right that'll show you where you've gone. So it'll give you, basically the map of your journey. And there's and it's getting even better because a 3D version's getting worked on too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's.
Oh gosh, that's so cool, man.
Yeah, kind of throwing that tease out there.
Nice.
Dude, have you seen the 3D? I thought the 3D map was already up.
No, it's not up yet.
Really? Then what am I looking at?
Probably the test.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Oh, so let's go over the entry page here real quick. I just posted a link in the chat, and I'll do it again here in a second. But I'm on the page now. The No Man's Sky Black Hole Suns says this is the data entry page for the No Man's Sky Black Hole Suns project. Please log in and enter data. So explain this page right here.
Yeah, so if you click the login button, right now you have 2 options to log in. Now, we do not store any email information at all. We only use the login process so that for troubleshooting purposes, and also so that we can secure the data, if you will, in some shape, form, or fashion. But we do not store that data in any way. But if you click on the link that says login, you'll be given 2 options to authenticate today. That's Google and GitHub. We'll be adding a few more authentication regimes like Twitch later on in the future. But after you log in, you'll then be presented with all the black holes that you've submitted so far, if you've done any, And then you'll also see the interface right there where you could actually enter in data. Now, if you don't log in, you can't enter data. Because when you log in, you also have the ability to establish a player name, which is unrelated to any other gaming presence you may have. And you also designate what galaxy and what gaming platform you're on. So that when you log in a second time, your player name and your galaxy and your gaming platform are already filled in. So that's the main reason we asked to log in, is basically securing the data, but also making it so that you don't have to type as much every single time that you enter data. So after you log in, you'll be able to enter the data one of two ways. The first way you can do it is to just enter data manually using those two input boxes. And we only need 3 pieces of data at a bare minimum per side. And by side, I mean the entry point of the black hole and then the exit point. So the 3 data points that we need are the region, the galactic coordinates, and the system name. That's it.
Okay, so the first 3. It says coordinates, portal, system name.
Actually, you don't need the portal. What happens is, if you log into the system and you type in some coordinates, and those coordinates already exist, it will actually show you who put those coordinates in there, and it'll also spit out the glyphs for that.
That's so cool.
For that coordinate.
Nice.
Yeah.
The glyph transition from coordinates to glyphs was a dream from the beginning, and it took months to get that work in, and now it's just amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it. I just absolutely love it.
Yeah,
I was pushing so hard for it and trying to figure out how to do it. I eventually didn't, but you know, our team members did. Who figured that out? Was it Hermit or was it Rehab?
I thought it was Piper.
Was it Piper?
Yeah, I thought.
I'd have to look. I don't remember.
So,
they're all great. They're all great.
Yeah, so let's start giving out some serious credit because, like I said, I'm the chief assistant flunky in charge of nothing. Okay.
Nice.
And I'm losing my job because of these guys working on the database.
and guys, I do want to direct the attention to the live chat, guys. Thank you, Paulo Gonzalez. I know Cobra was getting to it. Just wanted to bust in and open up for that donation, buddy.
Oh yeah, thank you so much, Paulo. I do appreciate that. Really exciting guests. We're going to take callers here in just a second, guys, and you guys can ask these just geniuses. I'm just going to call you geniuses. Whatever you would like about the Black Hole Project. And look, I'm going to say this again later on the show. We have an opportunity to pave the way of the highways of No Man's Sky. Okay, the highways. You can be part of that by black hole research. Find black holes when say you're getting ready to, maybe you're tired of building, maybe you're tired of doing whatever you're doing in No Man's Sky. Take to the stars, take a vacation, leave your base where it is, lock the doors, make sure the windows are shut, and then take to the stars and do some black hole research for the Black Hole Suns project. And I'm going to be constantly hammering down this link. I'm going to be tweeting it out. It's going to be in my video description later, and it's going to be on my Facebook. I'm going to put it everywhere because we have the opportunity to pave the highways of No Man's Sky. They're not done yet, guys. They're not done, and they need our help. Because this isn't going away with the No Man's Sky Beyond. This was done on purpose by Hello Games, and it's here to stay. So what we're doing is not going to be in vain. So let's really help these guys pave the way, and we'll talk about it in Discord. I want to see how many of you are discovering black holes for the Black Hole projects. Tweet at me every time you discover one or submit one. I want to hear about it because this is something that is super exciting, and you get to be a part of this. And
one of the features we added for this new database is that when you log into the system to submit black hole data, if you are the member of a No Man's Sky civilization or corporation or otherwise organization, you can pick that organization name from a drop-down list to give your organization credit for that research. So
Awesome. Cult
I'm
of the
telling-
Atlas, guys. Come on.
Yes, so I'm telling you right here. So what we did was I went to the No Man's Sky wiki, and I went to the page titled Civilized Space in the No Man's Sky wiki, and I based the drop-down list off of the civilizations that were listed in Civilized Space. But I'm telling you right here and now, by tomorrow morning, Cult of the Atlas will be in the drop-down list.
Oh my God! Thank you so much. Yeah.
Hey,
we'll
guys,
do that
guys
tonight.
there in the
Absolutely. It's not already there? I thought it was already there.
You guys out there watching the stream right now, guys, I want to direct your attention. If you will scroll down to the description of the stream, there is links to the Cobra TV Twitter page, guys. You guys need to be following Cobra TV. And guys, when he posts up links to this epic stuff going on in the community, guys, go retweet that stuff. Make it go viral, guys. Show off this beautiful game that Sean Murray and the team at Hello Games has given us.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited.
Well, I'm
so,
starting
sorry,
a
guys.
campaign.
Sorry for busting up.
No, don't be sorry. I'm starting a campaign for the Black Hole Suns. I mean, we are going to push this as hard as we can. Because this highway needs to be paved, and we all can do that. We all can be a part of it. How exciting is that?
Thanks, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, it's so humbling how much everybody's been wanting to help out and just all the attention. It just started as a little project, and I don't know, it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah. Yes, no.
I sent you a DM on Discord with a speak pipe. I suggest taking a look at it. It's in regards to the Cult of the Atlas. We need to get this on the Galactic Atlas, guys.
Oh, we've had Cobras report it to the galacticatlas.com website. They just haven't put it up yet. And I think like 20 to 100 people already requested that it go on the site. So I haven't heard anything back yet.
Continue doing that, please.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about more of that towards the end of the show, and I'll play a speak pipe too.
Sure.
But guys, is there anything that we need to get out of the way and it's still left to cover before we start taking some callers?
Well, I literally just updated the bulk download sheet that you can find on the database by clicking on file upload. So Call of the Atlas is now on that right now.
Colt?
Nice.
See
Somebody say Colt?
CULT?
Is
Yeah, we're a cult. Yes.
Yeah. Sorry. Hey, y'all happen to like Kool-Aid? Come on, guys. I'm joking.
We are the Cult of the Atlas.
So yeah, the last thing I want to mention is basically how we got to this exact point right here. And so after Google Sheets started to get really wobbly on us, at that exact moment when Eric and I were looking at each other and going, shit, we're in trouble, man.
it's broken. Yeah.
Yeah. So then that's when the real heroes showed up. We had a guy named Restless Hermit who completely re-architected the distance and route calculator that you showed earlier and made it super fast.
Wow.
And
it was fast.
And he improved upon the algorithm that I created. I mean, just by, it's not even close. It's like comparing apples and diamonds. He took it to the next level.
I'd like to jump in and mention that Mithrin was the one that initially really turned around the spreadsheet after our initial. Mithrin was the one that started the dart.
Yeah, he was the one who put up the formula to calculate and display the closest black hole to your target, and then from that
he
point,
disappeared, and then he disappeared. He went into his own black hole.
Yeah, it was funny. And then after Restless Hermit got to work on the calculator, at almost the exact same time, a player named S. Piper showed up, who was a database expert and a developer, and he was the one who put together the Firebase app for putting in the input at the website. So now you can manually type the coordinates into the database using that interface you showed on the screen earlier. The second option is you can download a Google Sheets template that Eric created and basically type in your input in bulk, if you will,
Wow.
and then upload a CSV file that sheet creates up to the database, and we'll just drink it in automatically. And now we have a third option that another developer named Rehab Submarine put together.
This is amazing. Yeah.
You're gonna have to, I hope you're sitting down for this one.
Yeah.
I am.
Okay. All right. Check this out. Unfortunately, this method is available only to PC players, but it is, what's the word, Eric? I need a word.
Absolutely phenomenal. Way beyond any of our expectations. It makes it incredibly easy to map anything you want.
Yeah, so if you think about those 3 data points, right, the region and the system name and the coordinates,
Right.
you have to open the galaxy map, write that down, go to the black hole. Well, first of all, before you go to the black hole, you have to write down the region name and the system name, land on a planet, open up a signal booster, get in the coordinates, write that down, jump back in your ship, go to the black hole, and do those 3 things all over again.
I don't even like hearing that anymore because this new method is so much easier.
But the thing is, though, Xbox players and PS4 players have to do it this way. And Xenu is living proof. He's our most prolific black hole researcher. You can get that down to a science where you can submit black hole data if you're Xbox or PS4. You can enter a black hole pair in probably 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes. 3 tops.
Wow.
Right? Now, once you get into a rhythm. Now sit down for this one.
Okay.
If you're a PC player, Rehab Submarine has created a solution where you're in your starship in No Man's Sky, you're in the galaxy map, you take a screenshot of the galaxy, then you close the galaxy map, you fly through the black hole.
You have to save first. You got to jump out of your ship at some point.
Well, yeah, and then you go to a space station, jump out the ship, and create a save. But before you do that, you take another screenshot of the galaxy that you traverse to, and then the OCR software on your PC will read the galaxy and the system name of the area you're in, along with the economy, I believe.
Yeah, all of it gets saved, I think.
Yeah, all the data.
Yeah.
And then it'll automatically convert all your screenshots and all that data to a CSV file that you automatically upload to the site.
Oh
And
my
when you
gosh.
save, what happens when you jump out of your ship is the program records your coordinates.
Yeah, it records your...
way.
So when you jump out of your ship and create the save point, the program he created goes into your save file and gets the coordinates out of it.
Wow.
So all you have to do is copy paste, and you're good to go. You don't have to write anything down. You don't got to remember anything.
That's crazy.
No typing or writing required. You can now you can record a black hole entry and exit pair in literally 1 per minute.
So what you're trying to say is you made it sword proof. Yes.
Thank you,
Guys,
Bruce.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Sure.
In regards to the data side of this, I'm about to put in a log for the black hole system.
Mm-hmm.
It says single system has one of the boxes to be check marked. What does that mean?
You can, if you want to only record like some place that you like say you found a paradise planet, which was the original goal of the whole entire project. Yeah, so you put that in there, and then you just save it. You don't have to only save black hole pairs, exits, and entries. You can save your bases, so that later on, if you want to use the dark and say, "Oh look, my base is here. I want to get over here," you use the dark using the information you already put in.
Awesome.
Yeah, so at some point, you're going to go to our website and you're going to check some boxes. You're going to say, I want a paradise planet with a rich economy, with a Sentinel S-class freighter.
Right.
That's Gek with a yellow sun, and it's going to spit out the coordinates.
Yuck. Hi, Natalie. How you doing? Big shout out to Natalie in the chat.
Hi, Natalie.
And CR's VRs, thank you so much for coming out to the show. Guys, what do you say we take some callers, get some questions?
Sounds great.
Okay, so let's go ahead and see if we can see. We've got some people when they're waiting already. See if we can get some awesome Cobras in here on the chat.
Oh, one more thing.
And go ahead, Snipe.
I took a look at took a little dive in while logging the coordinates, and I noticed that the distance to the galactic core actually is different in game than it is on the site.
You got this one. Go on, I'm sorry.
Yeah, only by a couple tens of light years.
Yeah, that's actually normal. The math that was figured out in the formulas is pretty consistent. It's not an exact, like a down to the integer match of whatever Hello Games coded, but the difference is literally within like 10 to 20 light years.
Okay.
Nothing catastrophic.
Actually, I take that back. It's only I'm looking at a 687.795 light year in game, and a 687.684 light year on the site.
If you notice on the Galaxy map, it changes as you move the camera around.
This is true, yeah.
That's really what's happening. That's why we kind of gave it a leeway. There's a buffer zone for the light years.
Yeah.
All
The
right.
calculation is from the system, which is the XYZ coordinate for that system. That system does not move, but you do in your ship as you go closer to and further away from that system, and that's why that calculation is a little different.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. Our first caller for tonight is Vargul. What is up, Vargul? How you doing, bud?
Hey, Cobra, how's it going? I'm doing pretty good, man.
It's good to have you back on the show, buddy.
Thanks. I missed the last subcast, man. It was date night. Sorry.
Oh, date. Well, that's cool, man. That's great. Well, it's good to have you here. Have you been listening to the show and listening to these geniuses talk?
No, I actually, typically what I do if you have me on the show, I go back the next day and I stream your show because I end up missing a lot of it. I don't want to have the show running in the background where other people in the chat room are trying to talk.
Oh, I see. Well, we got the Black Hole Sun Project guys on who are developing a superhighway in No Man's Sky.
Yeah, I think that's awesome.
Yeah,
I think that's brilliant.
We have the opportunity right now at this very moment to pave the highways of No Man's Sky, and like the article that I read at the beginning of the show, it talked about how there's fear that it could be just wiped away or change or something like that. I don't think that that's the case. I think that Hello Games changed it from being random to being a static location, a permanent location for every black hole, and an exit point. That I think they changed it for a reason. Because it all just makes sense. It all just flows together like cursive, like it's supposed to be there.
Right. Well, and we were talking a little bit about that in the in the waiting room. We were talking about the potential idea of what's going to be in the Reveal 3, and one of the things that was brought up was that I think we're at a point now, especially when Sean Murray said that there's going to be common elements of that typically found in an MMO. Well, one of the things is that an MMO is exactly what it is. It's a persistent world, and I think that's where Hello Games is going with No Man's Sky. It's just going to be persistent. I don't think we're going to see huge, drastic changes like we did in the past.
No,
what I mean by that is like a complete planet reset.
No, that's done. For at least for now, it's done. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. New biomes might be added, like we were talking off air, things like that. But I don't think that's going to cause a reset like we've seen with Atlas Rises and Next.
Yeah, I would agree with that 100%. You know, obviously, when Eric and I were working on this, we're like, man, if they flip a bit and change all this, I'm gonna jump out of the basement window if they make a change to this thing.
Basement.
I love it.
That's so funny. Oh man, that's got layers of funny. It just keeps getting funnier the more you listen to it.
You know, that was a real fear because, you know, if Hello Games was like, oh, okay, they've figured it out. That's very clever, and then boom, you know, they turn Black Hole Roulette back on or reset the coordinates or something. At the beginning, I actually did not want to attract the attention of Hello Games.
Oh, yeah. Because if they do change it, you'll be singing a song. This is a story about how my life got turned, flipped upside down. How's the song go? How's the song go? Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, how it starts?
Yeah.
I've gotten a rhythm. I can't sing it.
Rap, Cobra. Come on, man.
No, I can't.
Well, I've been saying for months, guys, that No Man's Sky has a detection system for a stream key. They wrote it into the algorithm that makes stuff 3 times harder to do while you're live.
Yeah. Before we add another caller here, Curtis or Vargol,
Yeah.
What else was on your mind?
I you know, it's just a typical. Well, a couple things actually. One, I can't believe quickly approaching mid-June and still haven't heard anything from Hello Games on the Reveal 3. But more intriguing was the direct message that I sent you in Twitter regarding Gloomhaven with Sam Swain working on that project using
that's a good topic. Yeah. Sam Swain doing a double job there on with No Man's Sky and also working on another game called Gloomhaven. Yeah, I don't know what to think about all that.
Well, the first thing that popped into my head was, oh my gosh, if he's working on Gloomhaven, has he been working on No Man's Sky?
Oh, I'm sure he has. He says he's been working on Gloomhaven for 8 months. Now, if you guys don't know who Sam Swain is the gentleman from Lion's Head Gaming, Molyneux's old crew, right? I believe. And he is a specialist in procedural generating cities and dungeons. And he's got this engine called Appearance that he was making that helps create procedural cities and dungeons in video games. And he's been looking for a developer to utilize it. All of a sudden, Hello Games hires him, and all of a sudden he tweets on his puts on his blog, "Hey, exciting news! I am able to work on Appearance now because now I got a full-time job, so I can work on at this full-time job and work on Appearance at the same time." So we all thought maybe he's utilizing that engine in No Man's Sky. Maybe Sean Murray and Hello Games has reached out and said, we would like to see how we could use Appearance in it in our game. But we were half right. He was looking for a developer to use Appearance, and he did find one, Gloomhaven. So there is still a possibility that Sam Swain, he was working on No Man's Sky. He tweeted out the announcement saying, I can tell everybody what I've been working on now. And it was No Man's Sky. So whatever he's done at it, I don't think he's a VR specialist. Everything I've read about Sam Swain is that he is a specialist in procedurally generated dungeons and cities. So it's I'm on pins and needles to see what he has done. Like I said, I don't think we're going to get cities in No Man's Sky. If we do, they're going to be player-made cities, hubs. And if he has touched on anything in maybe you know how you come across all these shacks on the planet, like there's these little depots everywhere. They're just in odd places. It doesn't look like it doesn't look believable that they would be there. It's just so weird. Just the placements of them are so weird. So maybe he could have had his Appearance to make those structures, those places that you could stop by, those depots, things like that, make them more believable. Maybe tinier little villages or a little bit more things to do at those places. So maybe he's had some business in that. But yeah, it's a good point to bring up. He has been working on something else for the last 8 months. Kind of strange.
You know what's funny about the procedural thing with No Man's Sky is, I swear to God, I read a quote from one of the developers about the engine that they have.
Yeah.
And it was not made for procedural games. I don't know what he basically said the game's not made for being procedural, but they sold the entire game on that.
Huh.
And it's weird. I don't know if anybody else has ever seen that.
No.
And I have no idea where I read it, but I know I read it.
That's cool. That's very interesting.
It is very interesting, yeah.
I also watched the Google Stadia live event that they had today. Was it today? Yeah, today. Yeah.
Google Stadia is not doing too well in public opinion right now, that's for sure.
No, it's not. And, out of the list of games, although there were some games that they listed, Baldur's Gate 3 was announced, so I thought that was pretty badass, because I played Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. But No Man's Sky was not one of the games listed in Google Stadia, so
it wasn't.
We can set that to rest.
No, you can't set it to rest. Because when Sean Murray's asked about next gen, he couldn't wait to talk about Stadia. That's the first thing he brought up. He said, let's take Stadia, for instance, and started talking it up to the top about how cool it was. So
you still think that that's going to be a platform?
If you were an owner of a game, and why wouldn't you make it for that platform to get, more money? So, yeah, I do think eventually it's going to be on Stadia. Hello?
I'm listening. I'm
No. Did I say something wrong? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to give Stadia time on this podcast. Everybody's mad at Stadia.
See, if Cobra says something deep, we all just like, okay.
The internet right now just thought I said something stupid.
No,
We were all taking it in.
It was the opposite, brother. It was the opposite, man. Yeah.
Well, I've yet to pass judgment on Stadia. I'm gonna wait. I'm taking your advice, Cobra. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna watch the rest of the community, the people that buy into it. I'm gonna listen to the forums and the reviews, see what people say, and then I'll make my decision. But if and or when Hello Games decides to go to Google Stadia, that will be badass, because I love the concept or the idea of being able to take No Man's Sky with me on my device.
Oh, yeah, of course. Wait, watch, buy. That's what I say for everything. Every single thing. Wait, watch, buy. Don't pre-order. Don't buy day one. Ryan, thank you so much for subscribing to Cobra TV and being a Cobra, and for also, by default, joining the cult of the Atlas. You'll just ask one of the Cobras in the chat for a cup of Kool-Aid. Just drink it. Don't ask any questions. And then
I was going to say something. I had never seen the subcast room get that quiet until I asked you guys if y'all like Kool-Aid. I'm like, oh no.
Let me go ahead and get another caller on here. We've got some people in here waiting. I don't know who is next.
Mary Lizzie has been in since the beginning of the subcast, Cobra.
Oh, yeah. Well, she's Patreon. She's allowed to shut me up. She's allowed to shut me up and sit me down.
Welcome, Mary.
I've just been sitting here listening to y'all chat the entire time. See, I can be quiet.
I thought you fell asleep. I ain't gonna lie. Ain't no way. There's no way Mary's this quiet this long.
Oh no, you
Awesome to
ask
have
me.
you.
I've been sitting here talking to myself, yelling at you guys.
What do we do?
No, I'm just talking back
Oh,
out loud like I do.
well, we got
Just like screaming, I talk to myself.
Mary Lizzie on the call. Mary, thank you so much for being here. If you guys don't know who Mary Lizzie is, please make yourself known in the comments or the chat section there, Mary, so people can check out your YouTube channel and your live streams. And we also have Danames Brandon joining the call. Danames Brandon, how you doing?
Hey, Cobra, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Everybody's really low tonight. I got you turned up.
Oh, this is so crazy. I've been wanting to be on the live stream for years.
Oh, is this who I think it is?
Yep.
Oh, what is up? I don't want to say your name because I don't want to dox you, but what's going on, buddy?
Hey, I came on this live stream shortly after launch, only for like 2 seconds because my Wi-Fi was bad. But it feels so good.
Yeah, buddy, it's great to have you on, man. What do you think of the guests that we have on tonight?
Guest?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Love it.
Don't mind us. We're good.
Oh, what the black people that are mapping out the black holes?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Not
Now,
Yes.
Crazy. Like, how long did it take you guys to do that?
We've been working on it since December.
Wow. How many
Damn.
people?
He's asking how many people altogether.
Oh, all together, Jesus. Good question. Well, it started with the two of us, and then we just kind of started building up. At first we said we're only going to have 5 people on the team. That was the hard limit because we didn't want to get overboard. And now, I mean, with the new online websites and everybody, we call them our engineers. Honestly, I don't know. It's more than 5, that's for sure.
Yeah, so at the beginning it was me and Eric, and then Gaming Mike, who's another YouTube streamer for
Mike,
guy.
Mike was huge, and still is huge with us,
Yeah, Gaming Mike came on very, very early and helped get us going, and he was actually what I consider a day one streamer for the Black Hole Suns project.
Very awesome.
He was putting out videos, just him running around the galaxy, mapping black holes and putting them in the spreadsheet. I mean, he probably did 10 of these things. I mean, it was crazy, and he was a big part of helping to get the word out there that we even existed in the first place. So he's also one of the admins on our Discord server as well. He just did a Black Hole Suns video like 3 or 4 days ago. I mean, he's been, like I said, he's been there since the beginning, and he's a big part of this.
And not only Mike, but the whole Getnik gang.
Oh yeah.
They really that's the group that launched us from going from like 17 entries to now we have 20 entries, and then all of a sudden those guys showed up and Mike joined the team, and that was the beginning, man.
Yeah, let's get some hashtag Gaming Mike in the chat there, guys.
Yeah, definitely,
also, I see something from Dave Langer. Dave Langer's not a troll. And he's saying, oh my God, No Man's Sky is updating right now. 30 gig update, exclamation marks. Dave, you don't do stuff like that in the chat.
You can't kill us like that.
Man, I remember April Fool's Day last year before next. Somebody posted in one of the amino hubs. They had photoshopped the 1.5 update on their PlayStation and posted in the amino hub. I have never seen more people screaming about, "Where's the update? Mine's not updating!" Because everybody logged on looking for the update. It was hilarious. The biggest troll I ever seen anybody do.
That's got to be the worst feeling, though, because you're like, oh my God, it's updated.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, thank you so much, Mary Lizzie, for that donation.
It's your day off. It's in the morning, and you're like, oh, it updated, and you're just waiting and waiting and waiting. All day long, you're just waiting. It's 6 o'clock in the evening all of a sudden.
Now, a big shout out to Gaming Mike, because I'll be honest with you guys, that's how I heard about you. Because I'm a fan of his program, and definitely, he usually comes on normally when I'm into my streams, and I seen him documenting, charting these black holes and advertising the site, and I got to looking into it, started watching some, been watching, big fan of his content and stuff, and I'm like, this is the type of stuff that needs to be showcased about this game, in this community. And man, I definitely so glad you guys agreed to come on today and let us interview you, because man, it has been an absolute pleasure just learning all this. I mean, I know it was a lot of math, and I know Cobra will probably attest, my eyes crossed a couple times, but man, it's awesome.
Hey, we appreciate that. Cobra, I actually sent you a DM on Discord with a test account if you wanted to actually log into the database without burning your own Gmail, username there.
Yeah,
I sent you
I was going to sign up after the show. I just didn't want to do it live.
That's cool, but it just sent you that just in case.
Okay, all right.
We really appreciate being here, and
thank you for the kudos, definitely.
Like I said, there's actually more to come, and If anyone remembers anything, just remember that this whole project exists for two big use cases. The first one is, again, if you want to go build a base somewhere, you can't portal there. You have to warp normally. And secondly, if there's a freighter out there you want to fight for, you can't portal to your dream freighter or your forever freighter. You have to warp there. So that's really what this data is all about. And I guess the third use case is
the community.
If you want to go somewhere that's far away and you don't want to use the what they call the Huber method of joining a multiplayer session because you want to write your own story during the journey, this is the way for you to do that, but still not have to warp 600, 700 times.
Oh man, been there.
I'll sign it to a little bit because I'm still signed into Google, and it'll just probably automatically log me in.
Oh yeah, might use a different browser or something.
It'll show your name.
Yeah, it's up to you.
Be careful of that.
Hashtag second screen.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I dude, these black hole mapping, man, it's so cool because I mean, I remember I found this awesome, and I shared the location on stream of Hawks Gaming. It was the same as his channel colors, and he wanted to get it, but I posted up the booster signal for him so he could go get this. And I mean, this is simple stuff. He can use your site and travel there in a quarter of the time, or even a tenth of the time it would take to warp straight there. And I've been in the same boat. You know, I found this awesome yellow freighter on one of my other saves, and then on my newer saves, you know what? I'm going to go get that freighter on this save.
Exactly.
And spend an entire day Saturday warping to get to that system to go grab that freighter.
Oh, no. At this point, we have so much data. When I run a route, if the route is more than 20 jumps, I'm bitter.
We got a question here from Mark Arnold saying, Cobra, do you think they will bring in more than 2 freighter designs? I love the Star Destroyer design and personally have an S-Class Sentinel design, but I would like more variety in the freighters. I think that's a polish of existing features. Yeah, I mean, that's on the survey that we took. So that's possible. Sure. I really hope that they do.
I wonder if you know, all that questionnaire, I wonder how much of that stuff they're going to do.
Oh, okay. Can we go over the questionnaire? I mean, people beat me up when I bring it up.
I know you bring it up a lot, but let's do it.
Okay, so let's bring up the survey, and then we'll also discuss, because people think I'm watering down the speculation, and they think that I'm like Captain Overhyped, and I usually do get overhyped, and we never speculate too much, right? We never speculate enough because we always get more than we think. So, but they think this time, because I'm using a survey, that I'm watering down the speculation. But here's the survey: everything on there we have either gotten, been told about, or seen. Okay, so you have enhancements to underwater exploration. I got this memorized. I don't even need to bring it up. Enhancements to underwater exploration, which was Abyss, because we took the survey before we got those two, right? And then all of a sudden, after we got done taking a survey, Hello Games said in a blog post, hey, thanks for taking a survey. Thank you for helping us prioritize our roadmap. That's their response to it. So I'm like, okay, they're calling this a roadmap? All right. So then all of a sudden we got Abyss. You could check that off for enhancements to underwater exploration on the survey. Then we got Visions, stranger, more varied planets. We got that, right? Check that off. And it's not seeming too real just yet. But then there are 2 things on there about online features. We got announced No Man's Sky Online. And then there's another one on there called No Man's Sky VR. That's been announced to us, No Man's Sky VR. During the state of play, we saw the NPCs walking around. Another one of those is more depth and variety to NPCs. Mm-hmm. Now there are just a few more left. Polish of existing features and quality of life improvements. But those aren't content updates, right? So then you have one more that would be a content update. It is more depth to base building. So I think number 3 falls under a building update with walking NPCs. More depth and variety to NPCs, because you put them in your bases, now they could do more stuff. I think there's maybe even a story mode that's going to come along with that. But base building and NPCs, I think, is what number 3 is. Now, it sounds like I'm watering down the speculation. Like, that's not really good. Aren't they saving the best for last? No, yes. The best for last won't even be mentioned because I uploaded a video that's titled "No Man's Sky will be more than what we expect," and it's a quote of Sean Murray saying that with each update, there's 10% that people are not expecting, even though we know what the update is. There's 10% that we don't realize what we're getting into. We see the patch notes. Okay, he said there is a lot of that and beyond. A lot of that.
Cobra. Go ahead. Sorry.
So that's the survey. Everything we've either gotten, been told, or seen, except for building.
Now I wanna touch on what you said there about building, because back in 1.3 when we had a 2,000 complexity base limit cap, we were talking about base building parts and lightening up the complexity of the base builds and expansion of the base builds. And man, when we got next, blew my mind. I could not believe that we could build so much bigger and so much more detailed than
anywhere.
And anywhere,
yeah.
Yes. And what it did, I mean, and just some of the most awesome creative base builds that I have seen in this game, and the player built just blows my mind. And I'm saying, I'm hoping that our lack of imagination doesn't sell short what Hello Games can do with this game when they apply themselves to it. Because see, my lack of an imagination in 1.3 sold short what we got with the base build parts in Next. And I'm hoping that they one up the game just that much more in Beyond with the base build parts.
I think they will. Look, I think it's number 3 because Sean Murray said that all of these updates, it made sense to release them together because they intertwine together. They work together. And I think with them introducing No Man's Sky Online, I think that base building is going to be huge. There's going to be more building because I think hubs are going to be integrated and beyond. So I think the building and the No Man's Sky Online go hand in hand together. Now everyone's like, well, what about space? Well, what about the fauna? What about more variation? There's a very important thing on that survey. It's called polish of existing features.
And fast food features.
That's good.
What?
Yeah.
What?
That might be it.
Yeah, polish of existing features could mean anything in the game, right? It could mean, and more depth and variety to NPCs could actually include the fauna too, because those are non-playable characters. So there is a lot. Just because we can look and see what Beyond might be by looking at the survey, there's that extra stuff that we're not expecting that Sean Murray said is going to be in Beyond. There is polish of existing features, which could mean literally anything in No Man's Sky.
I hope that rhymes with save point on freighter.
Oh, yes, I know.
So I'm not watering down my speculation. I'm not trying to under-speculate. I think that for the very first time, we've got breadcrumbs that lead to actual evidence of what they're trying to do. But there is that extra stuff that Sean Murray talks about that's going to be in Beyond that we're not expecting.
They're going to throw us for a loop on something.
Yes,
Well,
yes,
Cobra,
they are.
Something.
Well,
Cobra,
and-
let me ask you. What do you think Sean Murray? What do you think he meant when he said common elements found in an online game?
Things that you would typically see, like
Right. So what
community
kind of
building. Like, just okay. For an example, look at the game Boundless. That's my perfect example.
Right now, buddy.
It has multiple planets. It has portals. You could build hubs. You can have stores. It's got an economy, which is something I also wanted to talk about tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be so cool.
And it's when I think about Beyond, I think about what Boundless is doing. Boundless is a really great game, but people they turn away from it because it's got like a Minecrafty look to it.
Yeah.
I love it though. I think it's an amazing.
It's a great game.
Beautiful game, yeah.
I think the number one mystery in my mind in terms of the game, in terms of the Beyond update, is what you just mentioned, and that is the economy. Because this game is chock full of stuff. People collect stuff, people make stuff, people collect and make stuff to get more stuff. So the only thing that's missing in a multiplayer environment is the ability to buy, sell, and trade stuff. I sound like Lloyd and say anything I don't want to process. Yeah, I don't want to buy, sell anything processed. But the thing is about an economy is that if they introduce a bona fide economy in this game, then they only have one of two options in my mind. The first option is to have a brand new economy in a separate online experience that's totally separate from your local sandbox experience. So part of me thinks if you're going to go online, we're all going to start from scratch. And if you want to play by yourself or in this glowing orb maximum of 4-player environment, you can do that. But if you want to have a larger, more social experience, you're going to have to go to this brand new ground zero online experience, this online galaxy, if you will, for No Man's Sky. If they don't go that route, if all the multiplayer facets and features and functionality are going to stay in today's current implementation, which is perhaps changed by having a larger lobby with more players, then they've got to fix the current economy. And the only way you can fix the current economy is to eliminate once and for all every single dupe glitch that currently exists. Because how can you attract all these new players to No Man's Sky and VR if 50% of the gaming community is literally literally billionaires?
Well, let me look at the flip side of that coin.
Sure.
Because a player-driven economy doesn't necessarily mean that the units that you currently own is going to be the currency that is demanded by players. An example would be that,
maybe Quicksilver.
Maybe
there you
Quicksilver,
go. Maybe that's why it was. Oh my God! Look how well they're controlling that. Wait! Back up. Hold up. Okay. Look at how well they are controlling Quicksilver. We can't earn it right now.
I just realized how wrong I am right now.
Wow. Now, look. Okay, guys, look. A lot of people were like, when Quicksilver came out, they're like, "Oh no, it's a No Man's Sky shark card," and you know, that crossed my mind too, right? But I'll be honest. But I think that the Quicksilver was invented, and I think the community, the way we earned them, was a test to see how well it distributed and how well we earned it, and if there were any exploits.
Yep. That's right? I think that's very valid.
And I will say this:
I think they're doing it because there is going to be an economy in the game and beyond. That's why it's here.
And remember, you only earn it from community events.
Well, now
community is multiplayer.
The one exploit I seen on that Quicksilver got nipped the first round.
That's
the
right.
Hex cores. Yeah, the Hex cores people were duping. The next event did not have Hex cores, and we ain't seen them since.
Yep.
True.
No, you can still get Hex cores in the game.
Can you?
They're extremely rare, and actually they will break down into nanites.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they will? I threw them out.
Oh no, a hex core is good for like 100 or like it's a lot.
I think.
Oh God, I'm killing myself now.
Yeah, throw a hex core into a refiner and stand back. It's amazing.
Because I was killing a bunch on a glitch planet. I was killing those calcified star things just to finish off a killing fauna mission. And my inventory was just getting full of them, and I went and just threw them all out.
Yeah, one hex core is good for 50 nanites. So 5 hex cores in a stack is 250 nanites.
Oh my God!
Wow, I'm really glad we had this conversation because now that makes a lot of sense that there is a very big possibility we're going to have a working economy in No Man's Sky because of Quicksilver.
Maybe it was Quicksilver. Holy shitballs!
Dude. Yeah.
Woo! And another thing to touch on, Husker, what you said. See, what I don't think they're going to have a different play mode because they already have multiplayer integrated.
You're 100% right.
Single player game, you know.
Yeah.
And maybe the Quicksilver. I mean, to me, that would be the next natural progression unless they throw us for a loop.
Right,
I mean,
and you know,
Well, that would change a lot. Like so, my thought is, there's a lot of things that we get in No Man's Sky that we collect that it ends up just becoming vendor trash. And
Right.
actually, what happens a lot too is like repeat blueprints. If you go to a manufacturing facility and you collect a blueprint that you already own, it just exchanges over into currency and you just get credits for it. But how badass would it be to be that individual that goes and hunts blueprints and then sells those blueprints on your auction house to other players who are having difficult time finding them?
yeah,
Again, but you can dupe blueprints, so you could just find it once and sell it all day long if they don't address duping.
Yeah,
maybe that's one of the reasons they held off on releasing all 3 of the expansions singular. Maybe they're working on doing all the glitches. I mean, you can't release 3 expansions at once without working really hard on
Oh, of course.
something.
And like I was talking to you guys off air, you know, that they really got to do something because a lot of people are billionaires, right? Because of
Right.
just shenanigans, right? So
Right.
it's like, how do you implement an economy like you were saying when people are already have exploited the economy? It wouldn't work. You'd have to create something new. And you're right. And they did. Quicksilver.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think another advantage is with the game itself. It's not really a MMO, you know, and it's not a shooter. It's not really a role-playing game. It's its own thing. So maybe they can get away with putting it all multiplayer, doing the economy, and maybe it might actually just work out just because of the way the game is played.
Quicksilver will work if they introduce elements that have no dependencies on what exists today. So the entire supply chain, in other words, what can create Quicksilver
Right.
and what you can get with Quicksilver are completely separate from what you can do today. That'll work.
I fully expect them to completely change all the ingredients again. They do it every time.
Oh my
Well,
god.
We're
I
all
hope
gonna
not.
cry.
I hope not.
Yeah.
That's
We're
worse
all
than a
gonna
reset.
cry.
I'm gonna log in and have like 50 million technology modules today.
So here's
Now-
here's my concern, right? So let's say what we're discussing is true. Let's say this happens and Quicksilver becomes a new currency. Well, then that's going to make credits obsolete, because what's going to happen now is that people will go out, people who like to farm and mine, and they'll sell all their frostwork. They'll sell all.
That's a good point. Yeah, good point.
You know, and then they'll put like, you know, a stack of ferrite dust for like 5 Quicksilver. Well, people will start trying to buy that versus purchasing it off the store.
Now,
You know, like the galactic trade market.
Zane's bringing up a good point in the chat, guys. They definitely need to close out the stave editing for the PC players with these, because basically you can go into your save file and edit in God knows how much Quicksilver on the save editor.
Couldn't you do that with anything, though? I mean, I don't know much about it, but I assume if you can edit Quicksilver, you can pretty much edit anything in your save file.
Well, then,
How
if
much-
that's true, then my next question would be, when you're looking at I think you'll be able to continue to play this game offline.
Yeah, I agree.
Right?
I agree.
So you won't be playing with other people. What if one of the online features is solely server based?
That was my initial point, was that the online feature is going to be a whole new experience, a whole new galaxy, a whole new everything. But Quicksilver could negate that. If Quicksilver is the ends, then the means have to be basically completely separate from the game today. Like, there's nothing you can make, buy, or sell that exists today that will result in Quicksilver.
What if, and on the server point, what if they're using the current multiplayer method as a test to say, hey, if you want to play multiplayer, join this server of, a larger amount of people.
That's what I think. I mean, just like if you look at Star Wars: The Old Republic,
With
it
the
was
same
basically,
character, though. With the
there was
same
basic-
character, though.
there was basically PvP and PvE.
Can you
Right.
move your character in between?
No,
See, that's what I'm going with. I'm thinking, because you can move your character in other people's games, which is an instance, maybe that was a test for a larger multiplayer instance.
I thought you could move your character in Star Wars Galaxy, but it was a paid feature. You paid so much money, and you could transfer your character over.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I think there was a time when you could do that. You know, it's funny. The longer I think about this, the more I think I'm wrong and that we're all wrong. Only because when Eric and I started this,
we're all going to be wrong.
We always, yeah.
when we first started the Black Hole Suns project, you know, we thought we were not hot shit, but we just thought we were making really good progress. And then mistake after mistake, and every assumption we made about the game was just wrong. And I told him, I'm like, dude, just picture right now, there's someone from Hello Games reading our subreddit, and we're wrong about everything. And they were just watching this.
And laughing at us.
And laughing at us as we are just openly discussing how the galaxy works, and we're wrong about every single aspect.
Well, I tell you what, guys, wrap your heads around this, because like basically, No Man's Sky is just a bunch of maths stacked on top of each other in an algorithm, and it's all set up on a hexadecimal coordinate system. Okay, imagine this: a No Man's Sky to where everything's online. And everything is in proximity to your character placement. Like if you're in certain coordinates and other people are in certain coordinates, that you'll be able to interact with those players because you're in proximity for them to load in. But to keep the game, basically stick to the bones of the game, or to the original solo aspect of the game, that is an option you can switch off, that your character, while it plays on the server and interacts with the server and uploads and downloads to the server, it don't show to the online as an option. And it does away with all the player lobbies, all the you know what I'm saying? And basically and I'm telling you guys, it's gonna blow. I know you're gonna think I'm crazy, but it doesn't matter what platform you are, because it's the same. It's the server interacting, and it's that character location placement as it loads into your game gives the interaction.
That's the other thing. Are they building a huge server farm? Right? Are they calling Amazon or Google and saying we need a virtual infrastructure where we can build online servers on demand that can 400 users at a time? I mean, what's happening on the back end?
Yeah, that's Sony and Microsoft have just signed a joint cloud to challenge Google, the Google Stadia. So I wonder if that's got anything.
It just got really quiet all of a sudden.
Cobra's pondering.
Well, yeah, this whole conversation took a complete 180, dude.
Well, we gotta be true. We gotta get that speculate. Now, I do want to bring up a point that Cobra touched on earlier in the subcast about when he was going over the list. People was talking. He's getting this feedback or this pushback about watering down the speculation. I'm gonna tell you the difference between this update and the last update, and the reason the speculation was so hot and heavy and intense last update is we had Allison Smith jerking our chains and pulling us along with little tidbits and clues of information that was not really information, was not really, hey, you're getting online, hey, you're getting VR. No, they would drop us little clues that all we had was speculation on the clues. That's why we all got together and got so wild with the speculation in the last update. This update's more of a, hey, this is what we're going to give you, and we're going to release it out to you at certain ports of time before the update.
I think it's funny too. I'm kind of touching on that point too. I think it's funny where they did the first two. I guess everybody's calling it pillars of the new update, and then there's been silence for how long?
Yeah,
Cobra.
It feels suffocating. Dave Linger in the chat says it needs to be a new game mode. It needs to be new game mode. With everything reset and has to be saved server side like ED does.
I hope not.
I hope there's a new galaxy map where you can see active players.
That would be nice, yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
So a brief galaxy map.
Yeah. At least the people that you're friends with.
Yeah, if they keep things as is, they could solve the PC, shall we say, advantage extremely quickly by taking the text-based save file and just converting it to a binary data file that can only be read by the game, and that's it.
Yeah, enough of your math magic there, Husker.
No, if they encrypt if they encrypt the save file, that's ball game. Right? All the save editors will break instantly.
Oh yeah.
If they encrypt the save file, and that's how you do it. You basically solve for editing that file by
Could they do that and still have people be able to play their same character? Because that's been their big thing. You can play your same character from day one right now with all the updates. Would breaking it do that? I don't know.
Guys, before we wrap up, I did want to make an announcement that if you guys want to learn embarrassing facts about me, I'm really afraid to kind of put this out here. My wife is now a streaming No Man's Sky. And she doesn't know how to keep her mouth shut with embarrassing stuff. I love her to death. I love her. So if you guys wanted to go over and check out her channel, show her a little
notification.
Oh, I'm sure she and I would get along great.
And she embarrasses me a little bit here and there. She likes to take jabs at me, like, "Oh, you see that hole? I didn't fall in it, like Cobra."
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's great fun, guys. It is great fun, and I'm gonna tell you, with a little coaching and a little help, she is gonna make Cobra look like such a noob. She's got a natural talent for picking up on stuff on this game. So yeah.
Yeah, so it would mean a lot to me if you guys went over to her YouTube channel, show her a little bit of Cobra love, subscribe, see what she's got to offer. She just started playing. She's never played before, and yeah, I mean it's a good stream. Oh, look, some people subscribing already. Thank you so much, guys. You guys are amazing.
Awesome job,
amazing
guys.
people.
Awesome job.
Cobra?
Yes, ma'am.
JC Hysteria says in chat, if Husker will post a link to Black Hole Suns on the Coordinate Exchange subreddit, he can pin it.
Okay.
There you go. Cool.
Awesome, man. Cool.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna reach out to him because there's a project that we have coming up that I want to involve the Coordinate Exchange. So I'll definitely be in touch.
Awesome.
Okay. Awesome.
And guys, thank you for the 64 likes so far in the subcast. 65. Nice, guys.
Oh wow, look at all the Cobras just subscribing over there to Pixie. You guys
I know,
are freaking
man.
out. You know what? She's going to be so excited when she sees this.
saying.
She's not even here right now. She doesn't even know this is happening.
She's going to be floored, man.
She's going to be all giggly.
Epic.
But
it's like you guys are a cult or something.
I know, right? I know.
Well, you know, I have been told that we were the cult of the Atlas.
I'll tell you what. I watched the shows that she streamed, and not only was it entertaining, but it was also enjoyable, where it allowed me to reminisce what it was like the first time that I played. You get to explore all that new first time. That's really cool.
Wow. Yeah.
First time you play is amazing.
She's a little timid right now. She's like a little chihuahua playing a video game. She's, but give her about, I'd say about 4 more weeks. She'll get a stage performance. You know what I mean? She'll be up there all brave enough and still making fun of me. But
yeah, she's gonna have S-class everything in 4 weeks, man. She's already made 2 million units on her second stream, guys.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Wait, how many units?
2 million units.
Are you kidding me? It took me months to get there.
Well, full disclosure, she did have sword in her ear, so you know.
Yeah, she didn't dupe either. She doesn't know how to do anything like that. But yeah, she found these bones that were worth $2 million. It was really cool. It's just her first try, very first try.
Nice.
But again, thank you guys for for doing what you did. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you guys. Thank the community, and I mean, both. We're just humbled by all the attention. You guys are awesome. It's all about everybody else.
Yeah, this is definitely not about us. The response from the community, starting with Gaming Mike, and then it went on to Ichi the Nomad, who's with the GetNet gang, and then from there it went on to Xenu, Rise the Tiger, S Piper, Pehifu, again the godfather of the Pilgrim Star Path.
Yes.
Our most prolific Xbox player, Aristoclea, Rehab Submarine, who's another developer that's joined us. I hope I didn't forget anyone, but DD Birtles, and also Manhu Sudana. I mean, that's the crew right there. Without these guys and all the other researchers that have come on board and submitted data, we simply could not be where we are today. And then on top of that, out of nowhere, we got written up in Polygon and Games Radar.
Yep.
Kotuku and however you pronounce it. Who called you James Dean originally?
Yeah.
They messed up his name and called him James Dean.
They also called him Husker.
Yeah, when the articles got written, that was another major shift in the awareness. But like I said, you heard it here first tonight. Watch this space. In like 2 or 3 weeks, you're going to see something that's going to blow your space helmet off.
All right. All right.
Cobra.
Sword, can you do me a favor and just start plugging their links away in the chat?
Oh, definitely.
Any links that they have? Yes, no.
All right, incoming, guys.
A couple things. First off, I want to show these black hole researcher guys who are absolutely amazing. Point that right now. My newest black hole photo, because I forgot to do it sooner. I just now took a shot of it. It's on Twitter.
It's on Twitter? Okay, let me see.
Yep, I can send you via DM if you want.
I'm interested in seeing it.
By picture.
I love all the black hole pictures that everybody made. I was watching them the entire time. I thought they were all beautiful. It was great.
You're talking about the heart, mind, and soul of the Phoenix?
Yes. And
really
when
bright.
black holes break reality.
That's awesome, buddy. Very awesome.
That sounds cool.
And number 2 would be the Cult of the Atlas speak pipe.
Okay, yeah, we'll get to that here in a second. I just want to say, guys, listen, check this out. Yeah, somebody said hashtag no furries. Gotta watch out what Snow's tweeting. I gotta watch out what Snow's tweeting at me.
That's cool.
Somebody said, "Oh,
nice." That's cool.
Damn.
Awesome job, dude.
Anyways,
it looks like a painting.
Hashtag wallpaper. My new wallpaper.
That is beautiful. It really is. Remember, guys, you have the opportunity to be part of something really amazing. This game has hidden things that Hello Games wanted us to discover, find, figure out, and now map. We have the ability to be a part of mapping the freeways of No Man's Sky. And this is something that is going to be, this is permanent, guys. Like you doing this is like leaving your mark in history. And you're going to be able to search for it and find out that you're one of the people that helped map these galaxies and be able to get to places super, super quick without using Huber, doing it by jumping. And this is how it would be done in real life. We would find out, we would say, well, looks like black holes take us somewhere different. So let's figure out if we can map these things. And this is that. This is what's happening. These guys, the Black Hole Sun Projects, they're like the space organization, and you are like these astronauts that are going out and mapping No Man's Sky. And it's going to be there forever, and you're going to be part of it. So please, follow these links.
I'm sorry. In the beginning, we started talking about, what we're doing is really, we're like the old colonists mapping out the coast of continents, And then as we got better and better, then you start getting trade lines, everything's all mapped out. It's exciting.
Yeah, it really is. And you guys have a chance to be a part of a very big movement, and I don't say that lightly. And I'm going to I'm going to have a campaign on this because I think this is important. And we as players of the community, if we're No Man's Sky fans, this is part of our responsibility to pave the way for future explorers, to help them out to get around this galaxy easier, faster.
Exactly.
Yeah. And more specifically, civilizations and organizations can organize internally and pave highway paths that are specific to their location. So the Cult of the Atlas, members of the Coda can basically go out there and from any starting point create these really efficient highways to get to and from the Coda in literally 30 jumps or less. So like I did the math already. If you're on PlayStation 4 and you happen to have a base at New Lenin, you can get from New Lenin to Cult of the Atlas in 30 jumps.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Okay, that's about an hour. So, I think we can improve on that if we actually go out and aim at particular starting and endpoints. And we actually have researchers on the team who do just that. Who, if there's a destination that there's not a lot of efficient paths to, they literally jump in their ships, go out there, and they bring down the numbers in a day.
Yes.
30's a little high. We shoot for 10 to 20.
Yeah, 10 to 20 is the sweet spot.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. We could do it, man. Come on. Cobras Unite Coda, Cult of the Atlas. If you're not part of the Coda and you're just part of the you're just a Cobra, we can all do this together. This is a community effort. This is where we come together. Gex even can come together with Coda. Okay? I don't care about history.
I love it.
You wanted to bring me to the table with the Gek and be able to break bread. This is how you do it.
That's how you do it, guys.
I will break bread with the Gek who will help map out this galaxy. So, with that said, thank you so much, guys, for coming on the show tonight.
Thank you. Salute.
It's been an honor. Thank you so much.
For me as well.
Thank you, guys.
And also, guys, just in case anybody wasn't here, Sword is the new co-host of the SUBCAST. So if you're not a member, he doesn't like it when I say this, but if you're not a Sword bro, click on his name right there in the chat. Go give him a subscribe. Become a Sword bro. He streams almost every single night and streams the game. We're more of a community get-together here. We play the game. We got Revenge of the Survivor, but we don't live stream gameplay. So my co-host will. So definitely subscribe Sword and go check him out almost nightly, and you get to see him just doing whatever he's doing, a new permadeath save, new survival save. It's just some awesome content. Thank you so much for everybody that subscribed to Pixie Plays. You guys are amazing.
Man, yes.
If you're listening to this afterwards, please go through the live chat. It'll be available. Click those links for the Black Hole Sun project. Click those links for anything else that we shared in tonight. Also, remember that we are Constellation. So that means all of you guys play this game. Most of you probably stream it. Please reach out to each other and subscribe to each other. Okay? This is very important. Make sure we are supporting each other. Ivy Mike there in the chat. If you're not subscribed to Ivy Mike, you're doing yourself a disservice. Go check out Gaming Mike, Vilmar, and everybody that's in the chat. Check them out, see if and subscribe. We're Constellation. Connect those dots. We're all stars. Go ahead.
If you create any No Man's Sky content, if you create any content, guys, just post in the chat right now. I create content.
That's right. That chat room is yours to advertise in. That you upload stuff. This subcast is yours to come on and advertise your show, your stream, whatever, your podcast. This is yours. That's why you get to call in. The subcast belongs to you guys. So, with all that said, guys, Black Hole Sun Project, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes.
Hey, man, thank you. It's been a pleasure.
All right, everybody. Mary, Lizzie, everybody else here in the chat, thank you so much for calling into the show tonight. You guys, as always, are just all-stars.
And thanks for letting me listen in.
See you guys.
Okay.
Good night.
All right. Bye, everybody.
See you. Have a great night.
You too. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much for coming out, you guys. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for chatting. And I just hope that when you guys subscribe to Pixie over there, that you guys don't make fun of me too much.
Oh yeah, that is our opportunity to really,
and she
right in the side on Cobra.
And
man.
she'll join you if you want to start making fun of me. She'll
man,
join right in with you, and she's got extra stuff. All right, guys. As always, I love everybody, and thank you so much for the pictures of the black holes, funny imps, Ivy, Mike, everybody else, Zane's World. Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks, guys.
We're going to go ahead and get out of here, and remember, subscribe to Sword. And
remember to bust that like button up, guys. We can do it. 20 more likes and get us to 100. I know you guys are out there can do it before we close out. Get it done. Get it done, guys.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. I will see you on the other side, and keep an eye on the sky, guys. Until next time.